Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am the creator and host, David Rodgers. Joining me on the screen, not in the studio tonight, is the Byron Bagwell. Say hello, Byron, to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Miscreants.
Can
you hear me?
Can you hear him now? Oh, can you hear me, B?
I can hear you.
All right, I can hear you now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, patriots, miscreants, and infidels.
And
Miscreants?
miscreants. Yeah, okay.
You have to repeat miscreants twice. It's off the rails already. That's okay.
No, it is off the rails already. Again, welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Again, creator and host David Rodgers here with you, live in the studio. On the screen here, you see the Byron Bagwell. And over here to my right, bring you this broadcast and senior producer and director. He is the dancing destroyer himself, Mr. Dave Holland. Say hello, Dave Holland.
Hello, Byron and everybody else.
Hello, Dave.
But yeah, that's Dave for you right there. Again, welcome into On the Spot. Let's get the show started. We didn't have one last week, so got a lot of things to catch up on. I know one of the things that everybody's been hitting me on is what is the coaching status at Bradford High School for the 2026 Tornadoes. Well, guess what? We're going to try to fill you in as best as we can, and we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. I've got a breakdown. I'll break that down for you with the help of Byron and Dave as well. Got a lot of things else going on, but I do want to start off with something that y'all have probably already seen. I was asked to share this. Bradford County Fire Rescue and Fire Prevention told me to tell everybody this. A burn ban is in effect. Due to the current dry conditions, a county-wide burn ban is now in place until further notice. This includes all outdoor burning, such as yard debris, fire pits, bonfires, and barrels. Our priority is keeping our community safe, and these precautions help prevent wildfires during high-risk conditions. Please do your part and help us protect Bradford County. Report any illegal burning immediately. So that means Dwight and Byron and Dave, if you see me burning something at the house, don't worry about calling. I'll take care of it myself.
Hey, can we report them for the never mind, I'll stop.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated as conditions change. So again, Bradford County burn ban is in full effect. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in On the Spot with David Rodgers. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. So let us all bow our heads and I'll lead us in prayer tonight. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for tonight, for letting us come together and doing this show again, dear Lord. Thank you for everything that you do for us each and every day. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, dear Lord, the most freest and powerful country in the world today. We have issues and we have problems, but with your guiding hand and your touching hand and intervening, dear Lord, with our everyday lives, that you can touch each and every one of our hearts and that we can come together and hopefully fix the issues that we have within our country. Thank you for the armed forces, each and every one of those men and women that go out and serve each and every day to protect us from domestic and international terrorism and anything else, dear Lord, that comes to the harm of us and our great United States. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those men and women that go out each and every day in every one of the communities in the United States, dear Lord, that you keep a hedge of protection over them as they're out there each and every day and night, fighting the good fight, keeping us safe from harm, whoever that may be that wants to harm us. Please bring them back home safely to their families as they can continue to do their jobs. Thank you for the American everyday worker, dear Lord. Those guys, the men and women, and anybody that goes out and is a positive influence for the United States and goes to work to help our economy thrive each and every day. Thank you for the food that we receive that goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them, that you know what their needs are, dear Lord. You know what's in their hearts and their minds and in their souls, and you know what's ailing them, dear Lord. Just touch each and every one of them. I do want to say a special prayer request for the Rayberg family, Billy Rayberg and Lori Rayberg and their family, as Sarah Rayberg is trying to fight some illness, dear Lord, some cancer that has gotten into her body. And you're the one, dear Lord, that can take that away. So please, please, dear Lord, put your healing hand on that young lady. Again, thank you for the food that we receive each and every day that goes to nourishment our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you for a wonderful night, dear Lord. Thank you for a wonderful week. Thank you for an upcoming weekend that we're going to have, dear Lord. And thank you, and keep blessing us in this show. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. All right, all right, all right. Let us stand as we do the pledge. And Byron, I'm going to ask you, sir, if you'll lead us in our pledge tonight. I want to see how that goes through the studio. And you can start when you're ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just for all. Okay. Amen. Amen. Dave, yeah, you may want to come a little closer, Dave, if you can. Just a little bit towards me here.
I'm going to try.
All righty. And if you'll put that on the other side over there, that way I've got a little room and I'm not yanking it out of the computer. Again, welcome now into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your creator and host, David Rodgers, the Byron Bagwell, joining us from his beautiful home in Keystone Heights, Florida. As he's joining us tonight, he had to work a little bit late, but now that we got this new StreamYard, we're able to bring him on and any other guests. And Dave, I know that you're working very hard trying to get us the next upgrade on the StreamYard. So we'll be able to bring several guests on, won't we?
Yes.
Eventually.
Yes, up to 10.
Up to 10. My goodness.
We're
going to have a whole community.
We can have a whole community.
Yeah. The round circle.
So we can have the Liars Club is basically what you're saying.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, yeah. Well, there we go. We know who is a member of the Liars Club. Right, Dwight? Yeah, we know who it is. So actually, I wanted to introduce a couple of more people over here to my left outside the screen here. We've got Alan Sullivan with us. He is a member of the ARC. As y'all know, I'm a member of the ARC board, and I'm on the fundraising committee. I head up one of that as well. So Alan, I've known him for a long time, and he does good work at the ARC. He works at the wood shop. So he's joining us live in studio tonight. And our brother from another mother here, he is joining us tonight, Mr. Dwight Allen. He's in the house tonight, and he's going to sit in with us and help us chat up a little bit, listen in, see what's going on, and we'll see how the show carries on. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. As like I said, we got a lot to talk about. Dave, if you can go up to the top of that screen over there to the right-hand side for me, and I'll read off those comments. Can you see what I'm talking about there? If you'll just go up just a little bit. Yes, sir, and then you can bring it down. All right. Dwight Allen says, good evening, fellow patrons. He is in house. Miss Shirley Bagwell, she's on tonight. Byron's mother, good evening, she says. Renee Stegall Shaw from Pascagoula, Mississippi, one of my old classmates. Loves to give me heck, Dave. You know how she is. She says, hey, I made it on time this week. Yeah, J.W. Whittle is on, says amen. Brad and Donna Hildreth is on as well. And then Shirley as well said amen. And I'm sure there's some others that we haven't seen at this point. Byron, we'll go ahead and get rolling. Do you happen to have a patriotic quote of the night? If you do, I've got a couple here as well. So if you've got one, you can go ahead.
It is a rare thing when you find somebody that is very, very intelligent and also very wise.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I'm not sure. Say it again, B.
It is a rare thing when you find someone that is very intelligent and very wise.
Hmm. It sounds like something like that. Oh man, you got me on this one, B.
I will tell you this: he's a founding father, but not of this nation.
Okay. That even makes it more interesting. Dwight, you got one? Dave, you got one? Got a guess? Oh yeah, that's right. You can't, can you? I don't know, B. You got me.
Anybody else?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
That person would be the Byron Bagwell.
I'll be dadgum. How about that? Byron coming up with one himself. Isn't that great? All
Well,
right, B.
I was thinking a lot about what you were saying. We were talking about earlier today when I come up with that,
Yeah.
and it baffles me sometimes about how intelligent some people can be.
Yeah.
At the same time, just don't seem to get things in general that would make sense to people who actually use that intelligence that they have to
Right.
figure out things in an easy manner.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And that's going to really tie in and fit into what we talked about today that we spent a lot of time on. So it's definitely going to tie in for sure. So again, that was a great quote. Do you have another one? Because I've got one for you if you don't.
Go ahead, brother. I did
All
not
right.
have an opportunity with that crazy drive that I had back from the middle of nowhere in O'Brien.
All right, here we go. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. I'll give you a part of a clue. He was a 19th century American writer and poet.
Poet.
And philosopher. Poet, yeah. And philosopher. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness.
I'm going to give everybody else a few minutes because I know who this is, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Mark Twain's a good guess. Dave, I know you can't hear it. What we were just saying.
I don't have an answer.
Okay. Dave said he doesn't have an answer. Do you want these? Because I can hear. Are you sure?
You can't hear.
Well, I can read lips.
You want me to give everybody a hint about this?
Sure.
My mother is going to know this when I say this, but the road less traveled.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm just waiting for some comments to come on. And let's see here. So for every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness.
Wow.
It's a good one, isn't it? Yeah. I'll go ahead and say it because we need to go ahead and kick off with the show. Byron, you know that's Ralph Waldo Emerson, don't you?
I was thinking somebody else, but Emerson was one of the other ones.
Yeah, Ralph Waldo Emerson actually said that. So, yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Well,
Sure.
that is Emerson. It was the road less traveled.
Said that, or Byron, whoever.
Sure.
For every minute of angry, you lose 60 seconds
of happiness.
Of happiness.
Yeah.
So that makes total sense because there's 60 seconds in a minute.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
Yeah, so if you're arguing for a minute, there ain't no room for happiness.
That's true, Dave. That's good. That's a good way to put that, Dave.
For those folks that didn't understand that.
For those folks that was trying to decipher that.
Exactly.
I got one more, B. Here we go, and then we'll move on. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. I'll give you this. He was a famous general. Ooh, that's a good guess. Dwight said Schwarzkopf. That's a great guess. That is even a better guess. That's the only two biggest ones I know. That is a great guess, Dwight Allen. That is George S. Patton that said
Patton.
that.
Yeah, it was Patton.
Yeah. All right. Breaking news. Another domestic violence killing in Union County. Suspect chased down I-75, stopped with a pit stop. Suspect fled through the woods and shot himself. 2 females deceased in Union County. When is this going to stop? And that came from your better half, Byron. And she is exactly right. You just heard this past week. We were just talking about what happened this past week here with the Kerr family, and him shooting his wife and then turning the gun on himself. And now you've got this, and she's exactly right, Byron and Dave and Dwight and Alan. When is this kind of stuff going to stop?
I don't know that I don't know that it ever will, Dave. Domestic abuse is something that is absolutely horrible.
It is.
But in the eyes of the law, I don't know that there's a whole lot you can do except write them a piece of paper saying
Correct.
You can't do. I mean, you can monitor somebody.
Yeah.
There's a possibility to monitor somebody, but then all of a sudden you take away that person's ability to do their normal activities because everybody's going to be under suspicion of them. There's got to be something you can do, but the answer is not obvious. You got to be able to monitor somebody like that, and I just don't know how to tell people a way to do that without infringing on the person that the that warrant is put out against. I mean, restraining order, not warrant. Restraining orders put out against.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have somebody go, you cannot monitor them like that because they have the freedom that we all enjoy. I mean, until they do something that they shouldn't have their freedom for. But unfortunately, the laws are written where when you abuse somebody like that, they go in to jail, and they're normally out by the next day because they either post bail or a judge says they shouldn't be kept in jail,
right?
Because they're not that much of a danger to the open public. Well, they're not that much of a danger to the open public, but they're a deathly danger a lot of times to the person that order is written for. And there's so much legal nonsense that goes along with keeping somebody in a jail cell. And then there's so much legal nonsense that's going to happen when you try to monitor somebody like that to actually enforce that it's sad. It's sad that people want to treat people like that, period.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You can never tell what goes on behind closed doors. Me and you talked about this before. You don't know what's in these people's mind. You don't know what aggravated them that day for them to go off like that. But I will give everybody a piece of advice, and I think you'll say the same thing. I will say this. If it gets that bad, just leave. Just walk away. Just get out of the situation. Absolutely. Look, you can pick up your pieces of your life later on. But I tell you, it'll definitely save some lives. That's for sure. And just walk away from a situation because, Byron, again, me and you talked about this, off the air before, and it's just better to walk away.
Well, I mean, I can give you examples of that type of thing that's nuts because even if you've walked away, you completely divorced yourself figuratively and literally from that person, they can still come back.
Right.
And a restraining order is just a piece of paper. So what do you do? I mean, not just from a legal standpoint, but what do you do as a person? I can tell you what I would do, but it might not necessarily cure that, because
Right.
people can be snuck up on. Anybody can be snuck up on. You know, it's just a horrible, horrible, horrible situation, especially that one that happened in Bradford County, because there were kids that were witness to that. It's horrible.
Yeah, it sure is. Let me see. Oh, there he is. There's our brother right there, Byron. Look at him. That's a handsome dude, ain't it? Oh,
The
Dave, can you
Dancing
plug me
Destroyer.
back in?
Holy
smokes.
He's
Yeah,
wearing that
there we
ugly
go.
shirt,
Let's see,
though.
Dave. All right. I think I can hear you again, B.
Hey, yeah, hey, that's the Dancing Destroyer, and but Lord, that's an ugly shirt.
He said, that's the Dancing Destroyer. And he said, that's an ugly shirt you got on. But the White Alley won't agree with him.
I love that.
He said he loves that color in that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Brad and Donna Hilder said they talked about that on Sunday. A piece of paper doesn't do anything. How many times do you hear? We've heard it from our own sheriff's department when the police department was here. How many times has somebody broken a restraining order? Oh my gosh, you can count them from here to the end of the building there. And you're right, it doesn't stop anything, but you know, it will if you're caught and nobody is hurt. I mean, it can get you a jail sentence, but then what, like Byron said, what does that do? At the end of the day,
I mean, at the end of the day, you give somebody a jail sentence and they're out in say for violating a restraining order, and they're out in 6 months or a year. What are they going to do when they get out? If they're in that mind frame and they sit there for that long, all they're going to do is stew, more than likely.
Yeah,
I just don't know what the answer to that is. I mean, I have zero experience with any of that in my personal life. I didn't see it with my mom and dad. I haven't seen it in any of my relationships. And it goes beyond anything that I'm capable of imagining with somebody you supposedly love. I mean, how can you go about physically harming somebody that you supposedly love, even if it's over with and you don't like that person anymore? How can people just go do that? It just makes no sense. There's no moral value to it. But I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. Dwight hit it really pretty good on the head. The devil's running everywhere, you know, and I don't know if you can see. Can you see the comments, Byron? As they come across? You cannot. Okay.
I can't see them.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And, you know, Lisa said, keep a gun with you at all times. Yeah. Renee Stegall-Shaw said, I've got a story for y'all, but it's too long to type in the comments. I tell you what, when we upgrade to the next level of StreamYard here, we're able to bring you on, and then you can tell us that story if you would like. I'd love to have you. Love to see you. It's been a little while since the reunion, since I've seen you, so absolutely. Billy Rayberg, hello, brother, and good afternoon to you as well. We just prayed, and we hope Sarah is doing a lot better and that she gets rid of that cancer that's eating up her body. And with God's guiding hand and touch, we all believe that can happen for sure. You are correct, son. It's only a piece of paper. Jealousy is a powerful emotion. You're right, Shirley. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the jealousy. It's the physical violence towards somebody that you supposedly love, or loved at one point. I mean, I just don't understand that. I've never been able to understand that. It just makes no sense. If that person is making you that angry that you physically want to harm them, why would you want to be around them?
Just leave. Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Just
see,
leave.
that's what doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would you put yourself in that position? I've just
Yeah.
never, I've never understood that.
Yeah, I haven't either. Let's see. Well, there's a couple of women, Byron, that said they love Dave's shirt. Golly, how can you love that shirt, Byron? Can you tell me?
Well, those smart women.
No, no. I think those women probably need to go to class and pick another color.
Easy, David. Easy, easy. You're going to end up getting me. You're going to end up getting me in trouble tonight with that. Now,
yeah. Well, they can come at me with it. I can give them 1,002 reasons why I wouldn't wear that dadgum shirt.
Hey, that's my favorite team out there too.
Yeah, well, I can give you 1,003 reasons why that shirt ain't no good.
You are.
I will give them one thing about that. I would wear a gator shirt.
She ain't gonna make you no cake.
Yeah, no cakes. I guess that's done. Yeah.
Well, I will give them one thing. I would wear that shirt that he had on long before I would wear anything in green and orange.
True.
Well, okay, I will give you that. Yes, but what's your favorite color, Byron?
Garnet and gold.
Garnet and gold. That's it, man. Dwight said thumbs up, man. That's a good color.
Negative Ghost Rider.
He said negative Ghost Rider.
Christopher
Campbell. Christopher Campbell. Hope all is going well with you, sir. And Glenn Reeder said it's all about controlling emotions, controlling. Yeah, I just seen that.
It's all about one of two things. It's all about a mental disorder, or it's about evil. Yeah. I mean that to me that's the only two things that could cause somebody to do that.
Yeah. Again, I know me. I would just but then again, what is the situation? A one-time thing could cause what just happened here. It doesn't have to be a history of this going on. One thing could have triggered this guy to do what he did. I don't believe that in this particular instance, but I mean, it could happen where one instance, hey, he could have had a bad day at work. He's torqued off with somebody at work. You know what I'm saying? He brings it home. Now his wife's telling him to take out the garbage, cut the grass, this and that. And that, you understand what I'm saying? The honey-do list, and it could have just triggered him off. We don't know, but that could actually happen.
Yeah, of course it could, David. But at the same time, that there has to be something wrong with people that do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's look, you're in a domestic dispute and you get hit. The best thing to do is just walk away, and it doesn't matter whether it's woman or man. It just get away, get away from them. I have no I have no concept of that at all. What would go through somebody's mind that would make them want to do that to somebody that they supposedly love?
Well, and Lisa brought up a good point when she brought this up, and this is what we're talking about. It. I mean, this is a couple within a week. I mean, it's just like it's prevalent. It's more prevalent right now. And again, we may not hear about these kind of things for 6 months.
I hope not ever.
I hope ever. But I mean, we may not hear about that for the longest time. So let me see here. Lisa, Brantley and Wyatt. Say hello to Brantley and Wyatt, Byron.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah. Shirley, if I tell you that I would wear that shirt and I would parade it all over your house, would you make another cake for me, please? And cookies?
Oh, no, don't sell your soul for that. Don't you do that.
Now, wait a minute now. Just a minute. Hang on.
Don't you do that.
Hang on just a second, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Byron Bagwell, I love you, and I love Florida State.
oh my
Hang
goodness.
on a minute. Hang on a minute now.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
Hey, here we go, baby. Hey, I love cake. I love cookies, especially when Shirley Bagwell bakes them. So guess what? I'm a Florida Gator fan tonight, Byron Bagwell.
Yeah. What
Dadgummit.
color is the cake going to be?
Orange and blue.
Yuck.
he said, yuck. Oh,
The
I knew
only
the
blue that needs to be in cake is blueberries.
Let's see. On things for sure, brother, the NIL is going to get us all. Yes, we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. Yeah, we already know where that is for college football, and it's stepping down into the high school level as well.
I can tell you two things that would solve both the NIL right now. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Number one, you go back to the old transfer. What happened with the old transfer portal? You can only transfer one time in your college career, and you have to sit out for a full year after you do it.
Right.
Number two, if you receive NIL money, there is no scholarship money for you. You have to pay for your college education.
And Byron,
if you did those two things, it would end all of this nonsense.
I'm going to add a third thing that would really end it too. For you to get that NIL money is performance based. If you don't perform to the standard that you're supposed to perform to, you don't get your money as well.
Well, I mean, there's all sort of things you could do, but if you wanted two simple things, and it'd be very easy for the NCAA to do. You don't get a scholarship if you get NIL money, and you also don't get to transfer but one time in that portal, and you have to sit out. Stop all of it, every single bit of it.
And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Christopher Campbell, I knew the family and have for years and have ate and worked with Alan, and drugs and alcohol will change a person. Yeah, I didn't know the in-depth of that, Christopher. Obviously, you were closer to the family than we are. I knew of them. I didn't know them personally, but you know, when you get to know a person or the situation like that, you can add a little bit more insight into possibly what happened for sure.
The devil run rampant. Like what Dwight said.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. You just don't know. Guns don't kill people by herself. People kill people for having them hard and evil spirit. Yeah, that's Billy Rayburn. Yeah, guns don't kill people. How many times have me and Byron sat right here at this very studio and put something out there and said, hey, will that gun just pick itself up and kill somebody? The last time I checked, unless you're David Copperfield, I mean, that gun is going to sit on the table until you pick it up. It's not going to kill people. I mean, could something go off? I mean, it could, but I mean, you might as well stand out at the golf course and see if you get struck by lightning.
Yeah. David, how many guests and how many times have there been a gun in that studio and it didn't do anything?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yes, no, seriously, we done it.
Seriously, think about that, because you don't know who's concealed carrying if they're concealed carrying the right way. How many guests that had walked in there with a gun?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. You're exactly right.
And on top of that, we all have them at home. Yeah, some of us have them loaded at home, and it doesn't run around shooting people. And people will go, well, that's a poor argument, and this, that, and the other. No, that is not a poor argument, because you don't take away people's rights because of the actions of other people. You don't do that. That is just about the most un-American thing you could possibly do to somebody in this country. You don't take away their rights because somebody else chose to act badly or evilly, whichever one you want to call.
All right. So I'm going to go into the comments. Shirley, thank you so much. And Christopher Campbell, I'm going to answer yours. Dave was laughing at me when he read it. Chris, I love you, man. I know you follow Tornado football. We all talk about what's going on with the head coach, but I'm going to say this right here. If you have not had any of Mrs. Bagwell's cakes or cookies, I had to do that to save face because Dwight threw me under the bus and said, "You're not getting no more of Shirley's cakes." So I am not putting myself out there where I'm not getting no cakes or no cookies and watch you two boys eat all them good, delicious sweets. I wasn't going to do it. So
Hey,
guess what?
speaking of mom's cake, give me just a second.
You did it.
Oh, you got something? You got one? You
I
gonna
got a
bring something on there?
I got a piece of it left.
Do you? Bring it on there. Let's see what we got.
No, well, it's been there for a while. Oh gosh, hold on.
All right, go ahead. So she said she'll even make two. So I was on the new Bradford head coach as David Rodgers until the UF shirt. Christopher Campbell, Brad and Donna, and anybody that's watching, I'm going to be sitting here and honest with you. Look, I've told y'all this before. I've never coached any kind of organized football, baseball, basketball. I could sit up here like we have before. I can draw you up plays left and right. I can dissect plays left and right. I can tell you defenses. I can tell you what's going to happen with this defense or this offensive play. I can tell you all that. I can tell you rules. I can tell you all that. I know all that. The problem is, oh, Byron, I didn't see it because I was explaining. Let me see.
Too late.
Too late. Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, you dog.
oh,
Oh,
man.
man. Shirley.
What's your address?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. We'll ride over there tonight.
Yeah, man.
So
I don't. After the way I rant and rave, sometime I don't know if I need to give out my address on air.
But anyway, I can sit up here and draw plays left and right. Me and Byron's done it. We've dissected games. We've dissected plays. We've dissected players. We know what each is going to do. But to be honest with you, and I think Byron will agree, and everybody in this room will agree, and everybody that's on, I don't have the head coaching experience. I don't have the coaching experience to be the head coach. Now, in saying that, could I learn to be it? Yeah, I can learn to do it for sure. No doubt about it. Is there coaches there that can teach me those things? Yes. Do I think I would be a good head person to run an organization like that? And I call that an organization because that's what it is, because everybody that's involved. Could I do that? Yes. But, and I appreciate, and you, Chris, you wasn't the only one that has told me that. I've had people in Lake City tell me that. I've had other people tell me that. You dog, Byron Bagwell, you're stuffing your face. Are you absolutely kidding me? Oh my gosh. So, but at the end of the day, they would not offer me the position, and even if they did, would I take it? Boy, I tell you, with what we know at this point, like I said, we'll get into that, Byron. I would love to take it, but look, this team is 46-7. Might as well just go ahead and get into it. This team is 46-7 over the last 4 years. The coach that was here, and I'll go ahead and talk about him right now, Coach Jamie Rodgers, did phenomenal things with this football team. He took it from a mediocre, just average team that was going 5-5, 6-4. We were getting into the playoffs because ever since I've been calling football games in 2016 and on to this point, when I did it with Kevin and now with Byron, they made the playoffs every year. But Coach Jamie Rodgers, Coach John Staples, Coach the other Coach Staples, I can't think of his first name, his son, Tyler Stevens, and that they took him to another level. And that level has been sustained over the last 4 years. You look at the defense over the last 4 years has averaged 6.9 points per game, the defense. And if you can't score, you can't win, right, Byron? If you can't score,
you're not going to win. You think about what Bradford did with you take a look. Who are the 7 losses to?
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Live Oak, twice to Newberry, 3 times to Cocoa, and 1 time to Mandarin. That is how least they've lost, and we can name them. And
I mean,
some of those games were 1-score games. Look, the Live Oak thing, me and you left out of there going, really? Did that just really happen? I just, me and you had our theories about that.
well,
But
I
that
could.
ruined a perfect. That ruined a
There was
perfect
no
season.
theory about that game,
Yeah.
David. It's far enough past now that we could
Yeah.
talk about that. Bradford was given some of that home cooking from the referees that night.
Absolutely. The first Cocoa one where they beat us 31-21. That score didn't indicate on how close that game was. We knew a couple of calls there. I can guarantee you, Mr. Cook, if he'd come on this show, Gavin Cook will tell you that he got shoved about 7 yards, and then the receiver went by him. And honestly, Byron, that was really the winning score in that game.
It was the
field goal. Yeah, that was the game. That was the score that changed that game.
Yeah, that was the score that changed that game, and the defensive back Gavin Cook was definitely interfered with, and they didn't call it. It's one thing for a wide receiver to put his hands on a DB and push them off half a yard, maybe even a yard. It's another thing when they're going stumbling back 5-6 yards, and that's what happened in that play, and it wasn't called. I mean, you give any wide receiver, and it doesn't matter whether that guy was special or not, and he was very special. You give them that much space, he's catching the ball and he's gone.
Yes,
I mean,
sure
period.
is.
Yeah, that was a horrible call, and
I still see that call sometimes. All right, now the Newberry losses. All right, I'm gonna tell you something.
Mismatch.
And if y'all know, thank you, Byron. If y'all know anything about football, when Newberry got moved up into Class 2A, Coach Johnson over there had started building that team for 2 years prior to say, and he come out and publicly said it, we built this team to beat Bradford. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, you had a kid go to Ohio State. You had a kid go to Miami. He had some dudes. He had some studs. He had what we call in the business Jimmys and Joes that ran those X's and O's. And I can't say anything else. They beat Bradford, and they beat us good 2 times. They beat us 21-7 the first time and 33-19 the second time. They beat us pretty good. Now, the next week, they went down there and got their ASS handed to them by Cocoa.
Cocoa beat
beat the brakes off of them. But look, that's here or there now. But that year, it was just not meant to be, Byron. And you can explain about mismatches and that's not matching up with, and we just did not match up good with Newberry that year.
I mean, there's just some teams you don't match up well with. I mean, you take a look at some of the pro teams and some of the college teams, and you look at their losses, and you go, how in the world did this team lose to this team? It has to do with matchups, because that team could lose to another team that's the better team just absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
But it turn around because the matchups are bad at certain spots, and those coaches are smart. They're going to exploit the matchups in those. And that's exactly what Newberry did. They exploited the matchups in those games, and it really did cause Bradford to lose those 2 games. It did.
It did, and you're exactly right. Now, I want to go to the loss with Newberry. I want to go to the loss, not Newberry, with Cocoa in the state championship game. Look, we were in that game. We led that game 6-0. Unfortunately, we missed an extra point. And it stayed 6-0 for a while. And then all of a sudden, here comes Cocoa. We did not make the adjustments as needed. And we still only lost that game 20-6. So like Christopher Campbell, I'd seen his comment there, hey, we were in that football game too. And me and you, Byron, was up in the press box there. By the way, a nice press box. We had a great view. Do you remember what happened to us, brother? What did the FHSA say?
They come in and told us down. Yeah, we couldn't broadcast anymore. I will give you 2 comments.
13, before you start, 13,000 followers, wasn't it?
It was
time they
something
shut us off.
views before they cut us off.
Views. Yeah,
Okay.
people that were live.
There's
13,000.
two comments about that state championship game.
Yeah.
Number one, our offense didn't adjust at halftime. And it was one of the only times that I've seen that happen with Bradford, and I don't know why they didn't.
Right.
I'm just going to leave that alone and leave that there.
Yeah,
and
correct.
two, you know who else adjusted at halftime?
Yep.
The referees adjusted at
It
halftime.
does at halftime. Yep. They sure
Because
did.
all of the things that were going on between the Bradford DBs and the Cocoa wide receivers and the
Yeah.
Cocoa defensive backs and the Bradford wide receivers, all of a sudden they changed the way they were calling the game. Look, you talk about referees all day and all night long. I don't have a problem with referees letting players get away with certain things to a point, if they allow both sides to do that. But when you let one side get away with that and you don't let the other side get away with it, and you switch during the middle of a game,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit suspect to me, but I'll leave that alone because I don't like referees. I don't like that. I know it's a hard job. I know it moves fast. I get all of that. But a lot of times when I watch football games, some of it becomes really obvious and it makes me want to pull my hair out.
So I want to add something to that. And we're giving you a little history before we get into what's going on currently. But I'm going to add something else to that. First and foremost, Chris Cummings, who's playing, no, I don't even think he's playing anymore now, covered one of the best wide receivers in the country. He was supposed to go to Ohio State, wind up going to Florida State, and y'all know him as Javion Boggs. And Chris Cummings held him to 5 catches for 40 yards when he was averaging 10 catches for 140 yards. So Chris Cummings did his job in that game. He shut that kid down. C.J. Bragg, I don't know what it was about that little fella because he got us last year as well, or the year after that, Byron, but we could not tackle him. He was catching everything, short dump passes, quick, sharp passes, and he was breaking tackles. He weighed 170 pounds soaking wet, and he broke tackle after tackle, and we was like, man, are y'all ever going to tackle this guy? What's going on? And he's the one that hurt us in that game. And Chris, I'm going to get to that as we're talking about this, but I wanted Byron to add anything to that if he wanted to.
Well, he's a special player. I mean,
Yeah.
you get people like that every once in a while that you look at the stats, and they don't play like their stats. They play bigger than their stats physically.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you like you talk about a person like Maurice Jones-Drew,
yeah.
even though he was he weighed pretty much, and it was all muscle. He wasn't but about 5'4".
Yeah.
And you would expect him to tackle somebody at 5'4", but his thighs were as big around as my waist is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just special players that outperform
and look, CJ Bragg is a special player, and he was a special player. I mean, you wouldn't think he reminded me of we even talked about this. He reminded me of Wes Welker.
Yeah.
A Wes Welker or an Amendola. That's how he was built. That's what shifty receiver can get open in space. And the quarterback that they had, y'all know he went on to do, I think he's at Texas A&M now. Wasn't that Hart, Brady Hart?
Brady Hart, I believe is at Texas A&M. Yep.
Yeah, I believe he transferred to Texas A&M. And, a good quarterback's going to find receivers, and that's what happened to Bradford in that game. All right. Let me read some comments first before we move on. Michelle Crawford Nugent, Byron, said, that looks good. Your mama said, Byron, that wouldn't still be good. You are going to ruin my reputation. That's your mama said. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's what my mother said, but if you really believe I ate any of that cake after it being in this house for 2 weeks, I got another thing coming for you.
Hey, do you like that, though, about the reputation, brother? I like that.
No, that it still looked good. I mean,
it did look good. And Christopher Campbell said, "Well, after looking at that piece of cake, I have changed my view and my opinion." Okay, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. OU812, Brad. Yes, OU812, absolutely. That's almost like 867530999, ain't it? Yeah. Scott Munnings, what was the fella that withdrew his name talking about when he posted he was withdrawing because they wouldn't let him have a black quarterback? I feel like that would be blown way up if true. I knew that was coming, Byron. Do you want to start that or do you want me to? I knew this was coming. And
I don't know this for a fact, but it did not have anything to do with the fact that the quarterback was black. It had to do with the fact that the quarterback was one of his relatives. And Bradford County already has a star quarterback there that's going to stay. And that was the problem with that. And the guy that, and I don't know this for a fact, but I can almost promise you this is who it was Cornelius Ingram from Hawthorne.
Well, yeah, that's who exactly he's talking about. He just didn't put a name to it.
I don't. It has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with the fact that we have a star quarterback already, and you're not going to kick somebody out that started last year and could have probably started the year before as a freshman. You're not going to do that. That's crazy.
So I want to get people's opinions here, and you're exactly right. Look, first and foremost, y'all know about as much as me and Byron know. You know, we can speculate, we can guesstimate, you know, we can read what's being said here. Y'all got Facebook, y'all got those social media outlets like I do. You know, first and foremost, me and Byron, just because we call radio football games over the radio doesn't mean that we're privy to everything. And I can assure you that we're not. And Byron will attest to this. We're not privy to everything. We hear some things. Yes. I will say this. I can tell you that Cornelius Ingram was interviewed during the process, whatever that may be. Something happened there. And he is no longer a candidate for this job. He withdrew his name. The second person that was there was Ernest Graham. I'm not sure what happened there. We can speculate of what happened there. I don't know. Y'all read the same things that I do. Again, he's no longer in the running. I know Larry Shannon had been reached out to. Me and Byron had talked about that name as well. Larry Shannon is coaching at a great football program down at Venice High School. That is always a big school. That is always in the playoffs. That is always up for state championships. I believe that he said thank you, but no thank you. Yeah, I think his wife is from down in that area. And if she's not, they love the area down there. And he didn't want to come home. Now, we're sitting here where we're at right now. Again, I'm sure that they are on the horn. You know, whoever the hiring committee is, which I think all y'all know, which is Hartley and Chris Coffey and Samson Jackson and whoever else is involved, they're on the horn right now. I assure you, 24/7, they probably think about this all night, every night, and they are out there actively seeking a coach for Bradford County. And they do, like we all do, want to get the best person that they can to run this program.
David, I not that they're going to answer this question. I hope they see this and think about answering this.
Again, I don't know who's on. They could be on. I just don't see any comments. You know what I'm saying?
What I really want to know is this. You have coaches that are still one of them is not at Bradford anymore, and that's a sore subject with me. You had coaches that did not leave with the last coach.
Mm-hmm. Correct. No, you're right.
That know the guy's system because they were there with him for 4 years. Because there's only one coach that's not there anymore, and that was one of our offensive coordinators. But his Why can't I remember the name of the special teams coordinator right now?
Oh, John Staples.
John
Coach
Staples.
Staples.
His son
Coach Staples.
became our offensive coordinator. So of course, when he left, he went with Coach Rodgers, and his son went with him too. So you still had an intact coaching squad, part of it at least, there. People that understood the system for 4 years that Coach Rodgers come in and implemented. Why are we not hearing any of these coaches' names? That's what I personally don't understand, because there's a whole lot of coaching experience in people like Bat McNeil and
Wendell Shanks. Wendell
Shanks,
Shanks. Adrian Mosley.
Adrian Mosley.
Yeah.
You also lost the defensive coordinator because they didn't reach out to him. I don't understand why one of those coaches have not been mentioned, especially after you interviewed two people and were turned down by another one that you really wanted. Those three people that you really wanted. Why are we not hearing about those coaches? I think I'm having the same problem that a lot of Bradford County fans are having, because we're sitting back going, we're not hearing anything at all. Why are we not? I mean,
Great point.
I just don't. I don't get that, because after all of that's over with, if you looked at one of those coaches and said, "We'd like to offer you the job," I can pretty much promise you any of those coaches are going to say yes.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. There's also coaches out there that have Bradford tradition that could come back and coach that were great coaches, Roland Cummings. But I mean, I just don't. I don't get what's going on with this, and that's what the problem is with everybody else. They don't get it either.
Well, and again, do you think, me and you talked about this, and I have not had a chance to talk to any administration in regards to this, and I'm not sure if any is on here. We'll find out as we scroll through the comments, and like I said, we'll see if they see it later. But I think if you poll a lot of the people that are in concern, Tornado Nation, I like to call it Tornado Nation is that they, in other words, I'll just use it, crickets, that you're not hearing anything. And I think, it's not so much who the coach is going to be or who we lost or whatever. I think there is nothing being said by the administration. And I'm hearing that from a lot of different people, that they're just, there's no updates. Now, should they give updates? I mean, I don't know. As Tornado Nation and fans and having social media, I am assuming that people are going, hey, I'm looking for an update. And there's no update there. And again, I don't know if that's right or wrong or indifferent. That's up to that administration on what they want to do. But I think what people are thinking is, the quieter it is, that there's something going on. There's something happening. There's something internally going on, possibly. Again, I don't know this, but I think that's the way that people think. And I know some people's reached out to me, Byron, in that particular aspect.
Well, I could say this. You can't let this keep going on and on and on and on and on. We watched this happen in Union County, and we saw what happened.
Yes,
it happened with that. That was an absolute mess. You can't let it keep on going on and on and on. Everybody's got their opinions, but I am of the very, very strong opinion that Bradford County, and there may be some underlying issues with this. And David, you already know what I'm going to say, because I sound like a broken record with this. You had a defensive coordinator that had one of the best defenses in the state of Florida and probably the Southeast for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And you let him get away?
Yeah.
I mean,
I understand.
Was he a good candidate for head coach? I don't know. But I can tell you he was a great defensive coordinator, and now guess where? He's in Lake City.
Yeah.
I have issues when you have that good of a football team for that long, and you don't at least try to keep that what's left of the coaching staff intact.
All right. I was going to read Christopher Campbell sort of back in what you're saying here. Christopher Campbell says, I say give Coach Shanks a shot. Players respect him and have already been around him and his coaching. Exactly what you have said. Now, are we at the 12th hour because conditioning started this week and somebody's running those conditioning programs. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to venture and say it's probably Coach Shanks, Coach Mosley, McNeil, the other coaches that did stay, Coach Thomas, that coaches the middle school. I am sure they're working with these boys right now. And now we're at the 12th hour. We're getting ready to go into spring ball. Do you possibly, and I'll get all you guys' opinion, and Byron, I'll let you answer this. Do you give somebody like a Coach Shanks a shot right now?
Do I do that? You already know my opinion about that. Yeah, I mean, you already know who if you aren't going to go outside of the system to do that, you already know who I wanted him to do that with, but he's gone.
Correct. Right.
And I look, you'd say what you want to about the guy. I've heard all sort of stuff about him, and I really don't care about any of it. The guy got results, unbelievable results for a defense.
Right.
If it didn't work, you'd stay 1 year and then go back to being defensive coordinator or be gone. I mean, you can't get much past where you are now with the public, and in this day and age. Now, granted, saying that, I am not really enamored with all the pressure that social media puts on these people to find people and do things like that, because it's just not fair to them. But at the same time, I'm looking at these moves going, what in the world is going on?
And again, you're listening on the spot with David Rodgers. With me and Byron and Dave Holland, we talked about this. We knew this was going to be a big topic just because of the timing of everything that's going on. A program that's 46-7, 47-7, what they've been over the last 4 years. Again, I want to thank Coach Rodgers and Coach Staples and Tyler Stevens that has moved on over to Baker County. And I want to thank them for everything that they have done and building this program back up. Again, people has asked me, why did Coach Rodgers leave? I can't answer that. Byron can't answer that. We can speculate of why. Maybe there was a lot of things that were in play here. He's still got roots and ties there. He's got family there. He's got small kids. His mother is up in age. She lives there. He has a side business there. There's a lot of different things. Thank you. He has a home there. There's a lot of different things that went into play. And look, I've never harbored any ill feelings. If that he thinks that he needed to better himself by taking that job, hey, okay, that's fine. Now, again, will we ever hear what happened? Will we ever know what happened? No, unless it's a conversation that I have with Jamie or you have with
Rodgers.
Jamie.
Yeah.
In a private setting to see what really happened. But, we can all sit here and speculate what happened. But he did a fine job here, and now we've got to move on. And now, we're at the 12th hour, and this is going to tie in, Byron, to this next thing. And Scott Munnings, Christopher Campbell, Scott Munnings, I guess Scott asked about that. Christopher Campbell answered this again. Rumor mill, I'm reading comments, so this is nothing that me and Byron are saying personally. He said it was Coach Ingram, and the rumor was he was bringing his quarterback, who was the Dairy Farm Florida Player of the Year, but he was told that his quarterback wouldn't play. But I'm not sure if that's rumor or facts. That's for y'all. That's for you, the viewing audience, and the guys and gals that are making comments to decipher. I don't know about that. And Byron, I know you want to say something.
I do.
Yeah, and unless you know something that I don't know, that is all rumor, and that is not fact from anybody that I know of.
First and foremost, that is a coach's relative. That's the first thing that's with that.
Right.
Second off, you already have a really good quarterback here. Is he going to be outside coverage for that? Possibly, but possibly not. And then what's going to happen with Cy coverage? Because I can tell you there's a school, and I would hate this because I really don't like Baker County, and you all know have heard me say that I don't like Baker County football at all.
Well, it's our rival for sure.
It's our rival. You have a coach that knows this kid very well sitting in Baker County, and it wouldn't take much. I think it would take much knowing his grandparents. I think it would take some stuff, but it's not out of the realm of question for Cy Coverage to be gone. And I don't think they wanted to do that. I know that some of the administration had family ties to Cy too, so I think that played a great role in what was being said. Now that being said, if Cornelius Ingram come in and said, "I'm bringing my quarterback and he's starting," then I'm going to be honest with you, you don't want to coach like that. Because if I'm bringing my quarterback and he's going to compete for the job, more power to you. But if he's going to come in and say my quarterback's going to start, no, that's not how football should work. The best player at that position should get that position. It shouldn't matter whether they're kin to you or not. Now, that being said, if it's close, I have no problem putting both of them in the backfield.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Like we talked about that. I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
But starting, no, you don't come in and tell people that.
With the landscape of football, college, now to the high school level, and eventually it's going to get to the middle school level, I have no issue if this young man wanted to transfer here. In other words, Virginia takes the job and his players say, I want to transfer to Bradford. Doing it that way, now that quarterback comes in. Now you've got two quarterbacks that are very good. And I know when I was playing football back in the 70s, and you playing in the 80s, and Byron knowing football, they played back in the 70s. If I wanted to play and I wanted to start, I have to beat him out. And that's the way it was. It was a competition. The best player, the best man wins. You are the starter. I did not start until my junior year. I could not beat out the seniors and the juniors that were ahead of me because, i.e., they were, first of all, they were older than me. I had to learn things from them. They hit the gym. They did the things that they needed to do. I thought that my speed and, just my little pure talent would get me to play. Wrong answer. No, you sat the bench. The only way I got on the football team was play special teams. And I did not get to play until my junior year. So I don't mind a quarterback competition or any kind of player competition. And that's the way football should be. Look, man, Dwight Allen may be better than me, and I have to suck it up. He's going to start because he beat me out of the position fair and square. If I want to play in front of Dwight Allen, I have to beat him out of that position. I have to outplay him. I have to out-practice him. I have to out-hustle. I have to do everything. So I don't mind. Football is about competition. And if you think everything's going to be given to you like society on anything is, you're entitled. You're not entitled to jack nothing, especially when it comes to the football field. Hey, that should be a competition. And if you're worth your salt as a coach or coaches, then that's the way that should play out. You're not given anything.
Well, the comment about him being black is kind of ridiculous.
I don't buy them. Yeah,
I don't buy it either because number one, you're hiring a black coach. That makes no sense. Number two, if you look at the quarterbacks from the previous 3 years, I mean, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. I mean, I don't know where that rumor's coming from, but it's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, hey, and that player, by the way, sorry, yeah, Cliff caught me on that one, was Khalil Cummings.
Khalil,
not Chris.
Yeah, it was
Khalil Cummings, yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for that, Cliff. And we were out coached, and I said that Coco adjusted at half, and we didn't. Well, yeah, me and Byron talked about it too. Yeah, we were out coached. No, there was no doubt about it. You know, in that particular game, in certain aspects, and Coco did make the adjustments. But I agree with Byron. I think the referees made the adjustments as well, and we just couldn't catch a break in that second half. We just couldn't, and we still only gave up 6 points. That's what you were talking about, that defense, Byron. Why that defense has been so awesome the last 4 years. They only scored 2 field goals, even with all that.
No, I look. I look at all of that. That's those past games, and it just reinforces what I said earlier to me. That coaching staff that still a core is still there. Why are we now that your two splash hires and maybe the third one that you talked to with Larry Shannon being a splash hire are not there? Why are we not going in-house? I just don't understand, because when a head coach comes and they implement a system and it works like that, the other coaches are going to take the majority of that system and implement that same system. I just don't understand.
Good evening, Sheriff Gordon. By the way, I didn't know he was on, man. So I seen Dwight's comment there. Billy Rayburn. Yes, I forwarded him a place too as well. If y'all seen yesterday, Will Hartley was asking if there's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or a bigger house that anybody knows for rent. Billy Rayburn says this. He says it must be getting pretty close to a hire, because Will is looking for 4-bedroom houses here in town or in the surrounding area. Well, okay, it's possible, but Will could be looking for that for one of his family members. I mean, it didn't state what he was looking for that for. We can assume that that's what it's about. But, I mean, hey, he could be looking for something for his family member or somebody that may be coming into the area, you know, that is not a coach. So I didn't put too much stock into that.
Yeah,
You've seen it too, right, Byron?
I just, all I want is we're getting close. We're getting close to making the decision. That's all that needs to be said, and it alleviates a lot of this stuff, other than the nonsense about the black quarterback. I listen to some of that, and I think, you know, these people don't think when they make statements like that, because we had black quarterbacks for how many years before Cy Cubbage?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with that.
No. So Christopher Campbell said his quarterback, talking about Cornelius Ingram, was player of the year on the offensive side of the ball as a sophomore, and was told that we already had a quarterback and that he probably would not play. Now, this is coming from a comment now. This is not what me and Byron or anybody on this panel has said. He probably would not play. As far as I know, and I know a lot of people in that area in Hawthorne, they are not related. He has just coached him for years, and that he wanted to bring him with him.
Okay. So they're not related. That's fine. If they're not related, they're not related. I'm going to tell you this now. That has to be a really special player to actually go. He has to be a really special player. And you can say what you want to about the rural. There are 2 or 3 good teams in the rural.
Yes, there is.
That could compete with Bradford last year, and I don't think any of them beat Bradford.
Correct.
That being said, that's not just talking about quarterback playing on quarterback, but at the same time, if you watch what Cy Cubbage has done, the kid's making college throws in high school as a sophomore, and he was doing it as a freshman too. It was just better last year because he keeps on improving. I just don't see. I don't see how that would just going to make a mess. If he wanted to bring his quarterback in, he fine, but make it an open competition. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about it.
Yeah, he was the offensive Florida player of the year in rural Chris Campbell. You're exactly right. Gary Wallace, size an amazing quarterback, and I don't believe he should be replaced by someone coming in because of them being related to the head coach, which we just found out that he's not. But it wouldn't hurt to have two great quarterbacks. Byron Bagwell has said this whole show right here. Hey, run a dual quarterback system. When one of them ain't quarterbacking, put one of them in the slot as a slot receiver. When the other one ain't quarterbacking, they're both great athletes, put the other one in a slot position or some position that he can make plays with. I don't see where there is a problem having two quarterbacks. And you should have two quarterbacks because at any given play and at any given point, you could be done for the season. And it would not hurt to have two quarterbacks. And like I said, you can keep them on the field, Byron. At the same time, hey, maybe this kid, maybe even Cy, is athletic enough, which we know he is, that can maybe play defense. I understand when you play both ways, you got more of a chance to getting hurt. But you can play him in the slot. You can play him. I see you shaking your head.
Not Cy Coverage, not on defense, no sir. Not.
I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying he's athletic enough to do it.
Oh yeah, he's athletic enough.
He's athletic enough to do it. Now, would you put the other quarterback on defense? We don't know him. That's what I'm saying. You can find a position for both of those young men to play. If it's about starting or being in a certain position, you can play them on offense, both of them. Like I said, you can line one of them up in a wide receiver position in the slot. You can have the other one quarterback. All right, Cy, this is your play, and we're going to put you at the receiver, whoever this young man is. And I get it. Now, again, would I put Cy Coverage on defense? No. But one of the coaches maybe think he could. I wouldn't put him there. I would.
Not with that arm talent, no.
No, I would not.
I'd be afraid. I would be really afraid to do that simply because of how violent defenses are. I'd be afraid he'd hurt his hands.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Christopher Campbell says, "Man, give me Coach Shanks at this point." So.
Coach Shanks, Bat McNeil. I mean, you go down the list of them. I mean, there are people there that you could pick up and make
right.
the head coach, even if you know they didn't last but a year, is a stopgap measure until you can find somebody that either really wants to be a head coach. If that coach goes, I will fill in the role for a year, but I really want to be an offensive coordinator, or just decided after a while you didn't want to be a head coach. I mean that happens. So there are all sort of things you could do with that. All this talk about. Okay, look, Cornelius Ingram's not coming, and neither is Ernest Graham. That's not happening. And the other one that very few people probably have talked about is Larry Shannon. I kind of figured Larry Shannon was not coming. When I first talked to that David about that, I said, who would be great? Larry Shannon would be great, but I doubt he comes because he's got a great football team, and his wife has family down there. I doubt he would do that. But they need to do something soon. Or at least if they don't do something soon, they need to reassure the fans that are going crazy with this rumor mill, number one, that something's coming soon. Yep. And number two, we're keeping the rest of the staff. If you just did those two things, said those two simple statements, all of this goes away, with the exception of speculation of who they're getting. And then it's on.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Brad and Donna Hildreth, exactly. They were leaders and winners on and off the field. Absolutely. Mike Tierney, I want you to explain that to me. I think I can read between the lines. He says no money. And I think I know where he's going. If you're still on, I would like for you to elaborate on that a little bit. I think I know where you're going, but I don't want to say something and I may be totally way off base. So, yes, they should. That should cause with some transfer players, and all will start losing players. What Chris Campbell's saying, if they don't do something soon, that you're going to see a mass exodus out of here. And look, I'm not going to pull no punches on that. Yeah, absolutely. Players want to know, especially juniors that are going to be seniors. They want to know who their coach is. They're looking to go above and beyond this level. They want to play at the next level. No matter what division it is, they want to play at the next level, and they want to be able to know that they're going to have a good coach play and hopefully have a great season and to be able to showcase their talent. That's what it's all about anyway.
Hey, David, how many people did we lose on the defensive line last year?
Let me see. You got the Raging Bull coming back. You got the Punisher Parbioli coming back. Maybe one. You've got three of those from four.
You lost one person on the defensive line, right?
Yeah.
You still have the core of that team that played really well last year and made it pretty far in the playoffs again. Except we met up with Coco once again. That was they almost got Coco in that game too. By the way,
yes, they did.
You have one person off of that line that by the way, there was other players rotating in and out of that spot too. He was He was
correct.
a great player. He was a great player, but he wasn't one of the stars on that defensive line.
Yeah.
We are losing one person off of that offensive line. The core of that football team, as far as players go, is still there. If they do things right and actually get somebody in there that's a good coach. You're not talking about starting over from scratch from year one. And you're also not talking about kids that are inexperienced in the playoffs. This is going to be a good football team, and it's going to be fine next year. This is not doom and gloom. That is
absolutely not.
They're a great core of kids, but they've got to keep them.
You got to remember, as Byron was saying, to feed into that, you got to remember the middle school won the SMAC championship, undefeated season. The JV squad, me and Byron kept up with the stats. They were the number one JV squad in this whole region. They were ranked one over Mandarin. They were ranked number one JV squad. This is kids that are coming up that can make a good nucleus of what you already had. And I do believe if the right person or they make the right decision, they can. I think this team is good enough to go deep into the playoffs. This coming up team. I'm talking about this coming up team.
Well,
especially with what you said, what we got and what we have coming back.
I'm going to tell you, David. You talk about, you know who I'm going to say about this. There may be a freshman that comes up and starts on varsity, either at strong safety or middle linebacker, and quite possibly plays both ways at either running back or wide receiver, or maybe even tight end. And these players, you're going to have to keep these players.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Byron didn't want to give the name, but Byron gave him a nickname, so we'll just go ahead and tell
you. Viking Cubbage.
Rafe the Viking Cubbage. This kid is going to be special. He dominated that 8th grade All-American game. I mean, come on. This kid's going to be special. We have to keep that talent here. And it starts with, hey, let's get these players in their conditioning program, which are already in. Let's get the headband. Let's get a game plan in place. Let's get ready for that spring game. Let's see what you got. Work over the summer like they have always been doing, especially the last 4 years. And let's see what happens on the football field. You play the game on the football field. You don't play it on a piece of paper. And that's where it shows on that Friday night when they come out there and see if they're prepared to play. All right, let me see here. James, this is James asking a question, Byron. I'll let you answer it. I don't know if you want to. Some of our people on live can if they want to. If Saw wasn't Hartley's nephew, would have that made a difference? Why not let them compete for the job? Well, I think you've been hearing me and Byron talk about competing
Sure.
with the job for sure. Look, man,
Sure.
I don't know that answer. That answer, has to be answered from him. Do I have
Now,
an opinion about it? My opinion is my opinion. Not that it probably would make a hill of beans, but I just say if he was going to bring another quarterback or another quarterback was going to transfer in here, like Byron said, open the competition up. Hey, let's get a competition, and the best man win. The best player plays.
I mean, I don't have an issue with that at all, and nobody else should have an issue with that at all. I don't think that's what went on though. I think Cornelius Ingram, and I could be wrong about this. There's so many rumors and nobody's saying anything. How do you know? From my understanding of what was said, and it's a rumor because it's a rumor mill.
Yep, it is.
He was saying that his quarterback was going to be the starting quarterback. He was going to bring the quarterback and he was going to start here if he was hired. But that was my understanding of it. That may not be true at all.
Right.
I have a hard time believing Cornelius Ingram would say that. Now, granted, I have not been around Cornelius Ingram since he was in high school, but I just have a hard time believing he would say that.
Right. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, that's up to the public opinion on that. So I'll let y'all reserve your thoughts on that. Shirley said maybe it's all about money as usual. Is money in play here? It could be. Everything's always about some kind of money. I don't know if it's all of it, Shirley, but absolutely. I think it could be about that as well. Okay, sorry about that, Dave. Tyson Elliott, conditioning started last week. All remaining assistants are helping out. So whoever is the assistants, Byron, that stayed, they're still with the coaching staff.
Yeah, well, who stayed? That's the question.
Well, I'm assuming James and Mosley has stayed. Bat McNeil has stayed, as far as I know. I haven't heard of any of them going anywhere, so it's possible.
Who all's left, David? Do we know? Do we even know that?
I know those three. I think Coach Daniels is probably still around. And again, after that, Byron, I don't know, but I do know that Coach May, I do believe, is at Lake City now. And we know the Staples, the two Staples went over with Jamie, and Tyler Stevens went with Jamie. So whatever was left of that core, that staff should still be there and working with our guys, in the conditioning phase of this.
Now, the other thing that nobody said anything about is if you hire a head coach that wants to bring his staff over, what about this core that's left?
Right.
What about the coaches that are here that have had the winning product like that for a very long time? What I mean, you have them doing the strength and conditioning, and then next week you hire a new coach that wants to bring his whole staff in, and you're going to fire all of them that have been here forever?
I just don't see that, man. These coaches have been around a long time. These guys have been around longer than Jamie Rodgers has.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at people like Bat McNeil, Dwight and I went to school with Bat. Yeah. I mean, they
absolutely
football together at Bradford. So, I mean, there's just, I wish they would just say something,
Correct.
What's going on. It's in the works,
Yeah. No, I agree.
In a world that is so open and so public anymore, and something as high profile as a football program that's been winning like Bradford has won. I wish they would just say a little bit of something. Hey, we've got somebody in mind. We're in talks right now. Done.
Yeah. Competition, Gary Wallace, competition only makes the players better. They should all have to compete to start no matter what. That's what I was saying too. And I was telling y'all guys, I know I had to compete for my position, and that's why I didn't play for 2 years. Hey, because I didn't beat out the person that was in front of me. So guess what? I got to ride the pine until special teams came up, and that's when I got my chance. Dave, let me ask you this. Did you start when you was a freshman? Did you start when you was a sophomore? I don't know how big your high school was when you played football. Was you a starter as a 9th grader or a 10th grader? When did you actually start?
I started in the 6th grade and moved on up to about the 11th, and I was a starter the whole time.
So you started. So you must have been a pretty good ball player back in the day, or somebody felt that you earned your position to play. So you played on the high school team as a freshman.
Freshman.
Okay. And that does happen.
Up until the 11th grade.
Okay.
And I played offense and defense. We had a small school.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't built out of wood or
right.
anything like that, but, you know.
It wasn't back in Daniel Boone days or anything?
It wasn't a log cabin, was it, Dave?
It wasn't a log cabin.
That's our helmet.
The Daniel Boone helmet. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So James Snowing, that's exactly right. You're talking about Mr. Polk. They brought the Columbia quarterback. There we go. In 2 years ago when he started, I believe we had a quarterback that moved to defense. Yeah, you're exactly right. But I guarantee you, James, I just don't know if he just got thrown in there. I believe that was a competition. I would want to say that Polk beat out, I forgot who was that quarterback that year.
I know who that quarterback was because I kept on screaming about putting him in.
Who was it? Can you remember the name?
Give me just a second.
Jeremiah McKenzie.
It was Jeremiah McKenzie.
Now, okay, so I do know a little bit about that. McKenzie wanted to play defense.
Defense, that's right.
He did. He sat here on this show and said, hey, I want to play middle linebacker. He wanted to play defense and didn't want to play quarterback no more. But as you know, he did come in there on certain packages and got us first downs because of his toughness and his size. He was able to get us some 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s. How many times did he save drives because of his legs? Yes, I wanted Jeremiah McKenzie to start all those years, but he wanted to play defense. He made it known to Coach Rodgers and the staff, and that's what he went and did. So, yeah. Mitchell, how's it going? I hope the show went well, by the way. He had a show as well. If you're interested in motorsports, motor cars, anything with a motor on it, go check out On the Spot Motorsports Media with Mitchell Gunner and Robert. They normally do a show on Thursdays at 7 o'clock, but with so many guests and racing season coming up, they have started just lining up all kinds of guests. So they're doing some podcasts on Tuesday nights as well. So make sure you join those guys if you're interested in that. Polk was the Columbia kid when we had McKenzie. That was the backup to Shanks. Yes. And Shanks was the other one, too. And, of course, his dad was on the coaching staff. Let's see here. More comments. Byron, you can say something while I'm good evening, Mitchell. Yep. You should always have 2 quarterbacks. Shirley's right. Billy Rayburn, don't think for 1 second that Coach Rodgers won't be coming over here trying to get some of our players. Hey, what did we hear that we talked about that, didn't we? That, look, if something doesn't come into play, hey, Coach Rodgers is I'm not saying him. Look, I think kids would just want to go over. I don't think he has to come get anybody. I don't think he has to come get anybody. No, he don't have to come here.
Nope, he would not have to come here at all. Those kids would start going to Baker County. Some of them. Yeah. Some of them wouldn't because they have so close ties to Bradford County. Yeah. But look, I just wish they would say, I sound like a broken record. I wish they would say something so people would quit stressing out about this.
So before the show started, me and Dwight Allen, by the way, he's here with us in the studio tonight, man, and I can't, man. I'm glad he is so much. He is here. We've been wanting to come on the show, wanting to come on and hang out with us, and he has had the opportunity to come hang with us. Also, Alan Sullivan from the Ark is with us tonight in studio as well, along with the Dancing Destroyer himself. But we was talking before the show, Byron, and now that Union County has got Robbie Pruitt back, some of those kids may go over there. Robbie Pruitt's a proven coach. I know he's gotten older. He's getting older. I don't even know how much longer he's going to coach. But there is another program right there down the road that I assure you will get turned around as well. So, look, at the end of the day, kids can go where they want to now, and they'll find the best opportunity for themselves in today's market right now. And especially if you're good enough and you can get some NIL money, Byron, which we know that goes on, and it's going on in high school level. Hey, you can move to wherever you want to, and
Right.
you don't have to stay here if Bradford is not going to put something in place soon. Kids are antsy, man. Kids are antsy. It's not about us; it's about them. They get antsy and they go, hey. I need to get ready to go somewhere. What's the best fit? They talk to mom and daddy, maybe administration or whatever. I don't know, but for sure, mom and daddy. Hey, I know what Coach Rodgers has done. I'd like to go over there and play for Baker County. I've heard what Robbie Pruitt has done in the past and what he's done at Williston, taking them deep into the playoffs. I'm going to go play for Robbie Pruitt. Who knows, man? Kids are kids, man, and they got a mind of their own. And they don't have to be told. They don't have to be told anything. They already know, brother.
No, I mean, you take a look at what Ian Addison did this year.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know this, Ian Addison is no longer in Bradford County.
Yeah.
The starting running back.
Right.
I just nobody knows. That's the problem with all of this. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on, and it's stressing people out. Is what's going on. We've got it under control. We're talking to somebody right now in negotiations with them. We should have a head coach within a week.
Yeah. Mitchell Gunner said, nice feeder system. Absolutely. That feeder system has been great the last 3 or 4 years. Just what they've done with, we got coaches in places, in those places that are nothing but phenomenal. Coach Reginald Thomas, coaching a middle school. I think Coach Rodgers helped with the JV squad, but I can't remember who the actual coach was for the JV squad. So, no doubt about it. You're going to keep getting players in here, David. You don't even have to go out of here. You're going to keep getting good players here. But if you have a good program like we do, players are going to want to come in here. Absolutely. If they know who the head coach is and it's a stable program, which we know that both of those can come into play. Dwight Allen says, I hope we don't lose players to Union and Baker. Yeah, we talked about that. No doubt about that. Heart doesn't show up on paper. You're right. It doesn't.
David.
Can't believe rumors, as your mother said. Go ahead, B. I'm just reading some of the comments.
Yeah.
I didn't want
to interrupt you. You responded to the comment.
No. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What do you think about Coach Thomas coming up and coaching the high school?
I have mentioned that before. Some people had talked to me about it. He knows these kids. He knows the kids that are going to be coming up to the JV squad and potentially playing on the varsity squad, i.e. Rafe the Viking Cubbage and maybe a couple of others. I wouldn't mind giving any of the guys that we still have left a shot at this. I see Cliff. I see what you said. Cliff's very sharp, very smart. He writes for the newspaper. He goes, no need to stress. They're going to hire a coach. Well, Cliff, we know that. And I love you, man. And I'll buy you a steak, when we go on calling our high school game days. Yeah, we know they're going to hire a coach. Can you tell me when and who? And that's no knock on you, Cliff. Honestly. Yeah, This has been going on since the 1st of January, dude. Williston's already hired a coach, brother. Union County's already got their coach back. Baker's got a coach. There's coaches already into play, and you got a team sitting here that's 46-7, and again doesn't have a coach. I get what you're saying. They're going to hire a coach for sure. Is it the person that everybody sees fit? I'm hearing that David Rodgers is the new coach. Yeah, I've heard that same thing too. But nobody's Dwight's called me about the job. But anyway, I don't know, Byron. Look, again, I respect Cliff. We love Cliff. Cliff's one of our boys. But yeah, I know they're going to hire a coach. But who and when? That's the big question. Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
I mean,
the longer it takes, the fewer coaches there are to choose from.
Well, and that's exactly right.
Right.
So it can happen. No, Mitchell said, yeah, it can happen. Well, when they call me, we'll talk about it. Shirley, there are too many uncertainties right now. Not a good thing. See? And that's the thing right there. And I think that's the sentiment, Byron, of Bradford Nation right now. What do you think?
I think that somebody needs to say something, and I know what Cliff is saying, and Cliff is absolutely right.
I do. Yeah,
and if this was not the age of social media, I would be saying that, screaming that from the hills. They'll hire a coach and he'll be a good coach, especially after what Bradford's done, because it's an attractive job after 47-7 in the past 4 years. And if you're a good coach, it's a very attractive job. If you're now, you want to talk about a first-year coach coming into this, I would be very leery as a first-year coach coming into this job after that mark being set. That being said, if I was on that coaching staff and I was a first-year head coach, it would be a different story because I'd understand how he did that. But I look at it, and it's not for me, because I know Bradford's going to hire a coach, but for the public in general, to stop all this rumor mill stuff and stop some of the crazy things that are being said, just say, hey, look, we've got a candidate in. We're working on it right now. He should be hired within a week. Should be.
Yeah. Billy Rayberg. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
And that needs to be repeated. When they say should be, that comment needs to come right out. Should be. Because anything can happen when you go to hire somebody.
Yeah. But Billy Rayberg's got it right on the head. Not that we want to regress to that, but if we go 0-10, I'm still a tornado fan through and through. Was Byron talking? Yeah, okay. Sorry, B. Then I cut you off.
No, it's fine, man. 0-10. That's not happening. We'd have to lose every single player we had in the middle school would have to come up, and have an all freshman squad for that to happen. That 0-10 record is not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Could you see 3 or 4 losses? That depends on how many players we lose. I don't. You got to remember this too, because you're still talking about the division, including Santa Fe, Newberry, Keystone Heights. They're still in, right? Or did they go out, David? Because there was some rumors about
right now. I think they're still in. They haven't opted out yet, but I think it's coming.
Keystone Heights and us. So you're looking at 4 squads, and 2 of those squads are going to be very beatable next year. And I'm talking about Newberry and Keystone Heights. From what I saw coming from Santa Fe, I kind of understand why Ernest Graham didn't go, other than the fact that he's from Santa Fe. I get it, because what they did in the playoffs, they almost beat the number 2 ranked team in that playoff game, David.
Yeah.
They almost beat the number 2 ranked team in
our region. Yeah, in our region.
Last year, so look, that guy's got a team that's beginning to roll and beginning to get what he's teaching. So I can kind of understand why he wouldn't want to leave. But
All right, Tyson Elliott said they did make the move. Keystone went to the SSAA. So
Well,
they did move down. Yeah.
Who are they going to
The
put?
rumor mill was, yeah.
Who are they going to put in that spot? You can't have a 3-team division, can you? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
yes, you could. You could. I mean, there's classes that did until they moved all this, or until they did all this combination where there was, districts with 2 teams in it and 3 teams in it, which makes no sense. You both make the playoffs, right? So one of you is a champion and one of you is the runner-up. So but I have heard that. I don't think that's too much anymore, but
Come here, Union County.
Okay, so all right, Shirley, we're going to get to that because it's almost the 9:00 hour. Byron, can you believe we've been talking about this for almost 2 hours? But anyway, hey, we got a big game coming up this Sunday, and it's called the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah.
You like the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Do you? All right. Well, the 2 teams that are in it, I could give a rat's ass about.
Right.
The New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. That is Sunday. Game time is at 6:18. It's going to be on NBC. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on both teams. Both teams went 14-3. May is the quarterback for the New England Patriots. Sam Darnold's the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. I'll give you some offensive numbers first, Byron, and then I want y'all's picks. Let's see. Ian was going to Middleburg, whether Coach Rod. Yes, he was.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a family decision. Tyson Elliott, you're exactly right. I meant to say that, but we didn't really get that far. Yeah, we knew Ian was going to go. I hated to see that. I don't know what that was all about. I've heard some different things. I heard it was because he was getting too many carries in a ball game. I heard that he wasn't getting enough carries in a ball game. So I don't know if there was a balance there on that, but I do know that family decided to send him to Middleburg, and I wish nothing to Ian Addison but great things for him over there. He's very special, a special football player, a special young man, and like I told Gino in several messages over this past year, I'm going to miss calling his name, and Byron is too, at Tornado football games, but I wish nothing but the best for Ian Addison. Byron, you agree?
Oh yeah, nothing but the best. He is an incredibly talented running back. Just a great player and a really good kid too. So
yes, he was, man. Always cordial with us. Yes, sir. No, sir, man. I'm going to miss that young man. But anyway, offensively for the New England Patriots, they scored 28.8 points a game. The Seahawks scored 28.4 points a game. Total yards per game. The Patriots, 379.4. The Seahawks, 351.4. Yards per game passing. New England, 250.5 yards. And the Seahawks, 228.1 yards. Rushing yards per game, really close, 128 yards to 123 yards. Here's the difference right here. The New England Patriots has only turned the ball over 16 times, where the Seahawks have turned the ball over 28 times. Defensively, here we go. Here's where numbers are similar. The Patriots give up 18 points a game. The Seahawks give up 17 points a game. Total yards given up per game. The Patriots give up 295 yards a game, and the Seahawks give up 285 yards a game. Passing yards, how close is this? Both of them give up 193 yards. Both of them in the passing game. The rushing, Patriots give up a little more. They give up 101 yards per game rushing. Seattle gives up 91. Takeaways, the Patriots have taken the ball away from people 19 times, and the Seahawks have taken the ball away 25 times. A couple of keys to the game. I think, first of all, according to these stats and everything that I pulled up and everything that I read, they're predicting New England to win 24-20. I don't know if I particularly agree with that, because I think the X factor player in this football game, even though he's an absolute stud, is JSN, Jackson Smith and Jimba. I'm telling you, dude, Sam Darnold's going to find him everywhere on the football field. And he proved that against the 49ers. He proved it against the Rams, and I don't see why he won't prove it against the Patriots. So my pick, I like Seattle 27-20.
I'm not watching it, so I don't like either team. So
Yeah, well, I don't either, but I'm just with what I sort of see here. I like it, Seattle 27-20. Pick the score. You want just pick one. Pick one.
If I had to choose, I'd go with Seattle.
Yeah,
just because I hate the Patriots more.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey,
Who do you like?
brother.
Who do you like, Al? You like the Patriots? All right, to win, do you like okay, Dave, who do you like? Seahawks or the Patriots?
Who do I like?
Yeah,
Who you like less?
Who do
There
I
you
like left? I guess Seattle, I guess.
You gonna go with Seattle?
I guess.
Okay. Byron?
Seattle, 27-6.
Yeah, my gosh, man. Let me write that down.
What
Hey,
is it?
Write it down. Look, David, look at the stat. Look at the stats for that defense. Look at the
They're both
stats.
about they're both about the same.
Look at the stats for that defense, not for the whole year, but for the last 6 games. And
Well, that's true. Well, and I think that's why they got to these numbers. I mean, points per game given up. Seattle gives up their first was 17 points a game, and the Patriots give up 18 points a game, and they're fourth. So there's not a lot of that scoring defense. Now, I told you about everything was really close in this, but you're right. The last 4 or 5 games. Yeah, Seattle has piped it up a little bit.
So Seattle's defense is unbelievable, and they get turnovers. That turnover differential, what was it, 28 to or 25 to what was it, David?
Huh?
25-19.
25-19.
25 to 19. That's
25-19. 25-19.
That's
25. 6 more. Yeah.
That's 6 more turnovers. That's a pretty good amount for an NFL team. I really think this game's going to be lopsided, and I think I think Seattle's going to be the one that comes on the good end of that. But we'll see. That'll depend on the referees too, because I've watched Patriots teams that should not have won games win games before too.
Renee Stegallshaw said, "Go Hawks! Can't stand New England forever. Brady and Coach Bellyache."
How about Belichick? How about that? How about Belichick?
Yeah, I know they're gone. Caused me to turn on them a long time ago. I got you. Mitchell Gunner says New England 23, Seattle 21.
It's a pretty good score pick.
That's a pretty good score pick. He likes New England in this one. So you like Seattle, right, Dave, to win?
I guess.
Do you? Yep.
41-0.
Yeah. How much?
41-0.
Ooh, New England?
Ooh.
Let me write that down.
Ooh.
Alan from the Art, 41-0.
Oh,
man.
No
Let
way
me tell you what.
scoring that many
Is there
points.
oh my God, there ain't no way. There ain't no way on that crap. But anyway, look, what do you say, Dave?
I'm thinking it's going to be a
Low scoring?
14
10.
Maybe a field goal is going to decide the game.
So something like 14-10, 13-10, something like that. Okay. Seattle? Okay. All right. Dwight don't care. So
I really don't.
Yeah, Dwight don't care.
Honestly, neither do I, because I can't remember the Super Bowl that I've in the past. I don't know how many years where it's been like, whatever. I don't like either one of them, and that's how I feel.
No, I don't either. My team got beat out. So did your team. I think who you like? You like the Jags, don't you? Yeah. Tampa. So they got put out. So I guess we'll just sit and watch it and have some good.
Byron, he's been in a bad rut. So what? When was the last time Dallas won a Super Bowl?
The last time Dallas won a Super Bowl, I was still a fan of Dallas.
Mitchell Gunner Mental Gunner still is.
I know, but I watched I watched a certain owner by the name of Wayne Weaver walk off a helicopter, and at that point, I became a Jacksonville fan.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Hey, we're looking. Golly, it's 9:08, Dave. I cannot believe this. Again, thank you for tuning in on the spot with David Rodgers. Guys, I know that this coaching thing, I knew we was going to have a lot of comments. We knew this was going to take up a lot of the show. I really wanted to get into some other things, Dave. Byron, I know we had some topics we really wanted to get to. I knew this was hot and heavy, and I know that's why a lot of people tuned in. I think when I left that in my Facebook message and I had a question mark there, they probably went, does David know something? And I'm sure that's why a lot of people tune in. Unfortunately, guys, I have nothing. I don't. And I don't know much of anything else. Byron doesn't have much information either. So, yeah, always a Cowboy fan. So I am watching just to see the Budweiser ads. Your mom said that.
That Budweiser ad was really good, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Dallas is still my NFC team, and I still watch them. So
I know you do.
I can't give that up. You know, you watch players like Roger Staubach and
oh, absolutely,
Bob Hayes and
Golden Richards.
Yep,
Tony Dorsett.
And Tony Dorsett. When you're young, you can't.
Yeah.
And then to have them win Super Bowls like they did with Aikman and Emmitt Smith, barf.
Randy White, Too Tall Jones.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, those are names that just go down in history. I wasn't even a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I like those guys.
Yeah,
there was no doubt about it. So,
yep.
All right, guys. Well, we're getting ready to shut her down. Really appreciate you tuning in. Be back next Tuesday night, same bad time, same bad channel at 7:00. On behalf of our guests, Mr. Alan Sullivan, Mr. Dwight Allen, the Byron Bagwell joining us via the studio cam, and our producer, senior producer and director, the dancing destroyer himself, Dave Holland. I am David Rodgers. God bless you guys. Have a great Tuesday. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And I don't care who wins. Love you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you, Renee. I got you on that. I hated Dallas too. So.